What was a sketchy cheap buy that ended up being one of your best purchases? I was traveling in Japan and needed male clippers. All I could find is this cheap pink Hello Kitty grooming kit. These clippers are the best I ever owned. They have stayed sharp and functional for 20 years. I'm very protective of them. Everyone in the house knows you don't touch dad's pink Hello Kitty male clippers. Seed packets from the dollar store. While in college my boyfriend and I were broke. Really broke. But I still wanted to do something to celebrate spring. We were getting a few cheap bings at the dollar store when I noticed they were selling these seeds packets from a big old bin that you had to dig through. 4 for $1. No tax. I immediately begged to buy one despite our strict budget. Boyfriend was incredulous and wanted to buy sketchy seeds, but dutifully handed me a quarter. I ended up picking out tomatoes. Well, we got home, and I carefully placed about 3 seeds in washed out cans. I watered them and watched them sprout. I loved tending to my little garden. I ended up with 3 beautiful huge tomato plants. It was a bumper crop, more than we could eat. I sold the extra produce to my classmates. Made like $25. Good seeds. I bought a Game Boy Color and Pokémon from a guy behind an abandoned building. Only after I told my parents did I realize I was in such a sketchy and dangerous situation. I played the crap out of that thing though. In a gruff, smoker's voice. Hey kid, you want buy a Game Boy? Shady guy opens trench coat to reveal various colors of legit Gamma Boys hanging from the side. I got red, yellow, white. I even got them see-through colors. What'll it be? Dad bought me a flannel jacket for $2 from the equivalent of a dollar store in 1994. Wore it for everything you can think of. Wore it yesterday. Still going strong after 25 years. Edit. Pic taken today by request. The jacket imga.com/gallery/to-gfbzkc. It's amazing that the jacket held up, yes. But, special kudos to you for still being able to fit in it for 25 years. I was giving these college-aged young women a Lyft ride. One asks how that Craigslist thing went, so my ears perked up. The other says something, like he complained it went back too far. Just don't put it back so far. Duh. Eventually I deduce they are talking about a recliner, which I've been looking for one for some time now. I interject and ask about it. Lady has a lazy boy electric recliner she just wants $20 for. I'm like, listen, I know it's sketchy, but if you've got Craigslist randos in your house, Lyft at least gave me a background check. We pull up, I end the ride, and follow these ladies into their house. I knew I wanted it as soon as I laid eyes on it. So, this college chick is helping me stuff a recliner into my backseat, and all I can think is this is how Buffalo Bill kidnapped that girl in Silence of the Lambs. $20 for a recliner so lazy it reclines for me. The bra of mystery. First strike, I bought it from a grocery store. Second strike, it was marked down to $2 and plastered with stickers reading, final sale, no returns, we're not liable if this kills you. I'm sure there are people who love you, and the like. Third strike, upon ringing it through, the cashier did a double take at the screen, looked at me with great concern, and asked if I was sure I wanted to buy it. After failing to self-combust and send me straight to hell, it wound up being one of the nicest bras I ever had. Wore it for 2 years before the inevitable underwire-ted shanking. I still wonder what they thought was wrong with it. I'm upvoting this for the lovely phrase of underwire-ted shanking. I too have been betrayed. Bought my kitty for $20 on Craigslist from a legit meth addict. I had never had a cat before, and this little meow factory has been my best friend ever since. Seller lists several 2-month-old kittens on Craigslist, first come first serve. We pull up to an area of town known for high crime and drugs at like 11 at night. Seller plops this impossibly tiny kitten into my hand wordlessly. She was only 3 weeks old. The seller gave us some shit about how her sister's cat just had kittens, and she didn't want to make a whole new post about it. Kittens were listed for $10. The seller was asking for $15. All we had was a $20. I looked at my now fiancé, and we knew no one else was gonna take care of her. We drove that kitten home in a laundry basket. Nearly 3 years later, that kitten is attached to my hip and I can't think of a better $20 investment. No label, old beat to sheet vinyl acetate record with handwritten "that'll be the day" on it. Paid $1. Ended up being a live Buddy Holly recording. Sold it for $970. That's subtly haunting to me. Buddy Holly will always have a special place in my heart. One Christmas I was wrapping presents on my living room floor with one of the original pressings of an early Buddy Holly LP on my turntable playing, when my now husband asked me to marry him. I bought a blanket in Mexico in 1986 for $5. I still have it, and it is super soft and comfy. It has been abused, washed, etc., and it is still in great shape. My dad bought my great grandmother a blanket from Mexico for $15 in the early 90s. 20 years later I'm currently snuggled up in it. It's a huge blanket and has held up so great. I love it. $12 rain boots at Value Village. I've thrashed these things living in rural Alaska and they're still totally watertight 2 years later. Stain removers from the dollar store are surprisingly effective. I bought a tube of toothpaste called Right Clean, and then when I looked closely, the cap said Colgate. So I'm guessing companies sell their excess supply to dollar stores and just relabel the contents. Or like with a lot of products, they are made at the same place and literally only the packaging changes. I bought a small turtle from a gas station in Florida when I was in the 1st grade. Maximum proudly lived until the end of my senior year. I got a turtle with paper route money when I was 13. I'm 37 and has still my little buddy. At the end of a long road trip with some mates, I bought a $20 pair of sunglasses in a gas station just outside Chicago. They fit me better than any pair of sunglasses ever did, or ever will, and they made me look awesome. For years I constantly received compliments about them, and was asked where I got them. I lost them after 5 long years, and have hated myself for it ever since. They were so no name they didn't even have a brand name on them at all, so I have no idea who made them. I have no way of finding that gas station either. I've literally spent hundreds of dollars trying to find sunglasses that come close to that same perfect fit/style, but I can't. Share a picture of these shades. Ensure someone will be able to identify them. I randomly found a wedding videographer online and booked him for a very affordable rate for my wedding, assuming it wouldn't be very good quality. 2 weeks after the wedding, he emails me a high quality, well edited video. He had a drone I hadn't noticed because he was outside of the venue getting B-roll with it before I even started getting ready for the big day. I was floored, and now I recommend him to everyone who ever plans to get married ever. Edit. He has definitely upped his prices. Since then he did the videography for my wedding last summer, and rightfully so, because he does great work. I drive cars so old they all still have tape decks. I bought this fake cassette tape with a headphone style plug that comes with it. You put the tape in the player, just like it was a cassette, and plug the jack into your phone, and it uses the car's speaker system as an external speaker for the phone. I was so skeptical of it working, because it was all of $5 and I've been using it at least 10 years and it works perfectly and beautifully. Plus bonus side eye every time I pull it out, to use it with someone new in the car. I bought a turtle for $5 in Chinatown and she's turning 3 this year. Edit to add a few things. Chinatown in Chicago, which is why her name is Al Capone. We call her Al. I'm hoping she will outlive me because I can't imagine losing her. Don't worry, I study biology and environmental science going in a PhD program. She is treated like a My parents bought me a turtle for my first birthday. She's still alive 30 plus years later. You got a turtle for your first birthday? Not judging, just jealous tbh. I bought a $17 toaster about 20 years ago, and it's still going strong. I bought an $8 toaster and it immediately lit on fire. Perhaps $17 is the magic number? I bought a knockoff backpack in Turkey. It was like $25 and has lasted me longer than other people's $200 backpacks. Clarification: backpacking backpack as in luggage, or for overnight hiking, not a book bag. I got a $20 backpack off a street vendor in New York because we had too much stuff to take in our luggage. The damn thing went to work with me every day for 9 years. I have never had another that good for any amount of money. I bought a $25 backpack off Amazon that I've carried to work every day for the last 5 years. I work in a steel mill, so that's no small feat. Hot summers, cold winters, dirt, dust, oil, rain, it's taken a beating. Even has a little insulated pouch on the front for my lunches or cold water bottles. No signs of fatigue on the straps, no tearing or loose threads. Only thing that's breaking down is the insulated pouch. It's starting to crack around the edges. Loved it so much I bought my X1 for college, and it handled books and a laptop like a champ. Still have that one around the house too. It's made by Dakeen, if anyone is interested.